Ladies and gentlemen, my name is LaRon Pierce, and Wednesday's Women's Knows and Thursday's Men is back. Excuse the mic, the feedback in the background, but just wanted to let you know that Wednesday Women's Knows and Thursday's Men is back. But today we wanted to dedicate to this special someone and the passing of Sonny Wells. And on behalf of the RMC family and Morris Media family, we wanted to send our condolences to Crystal Wells and the Wells family and the immediate family. And we will miss him. And we all know that he's in a better place. And we wanted to dedicate this show especially for Sonny Wells, because on RMC many years ago, he actually had a show at RMC called Just Sports. So this is the dedication of Sonny Wells. Thank you.
You Just Sports with Sonny Wells. Good evening. This has been a tough week for me.
Can't wait to talk about it.
Man, I kind of don't know where to start, but let's jump right into it. Let me see. We got baseball. The two teams that are in that.
San Francisco Giants and the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
That's it for that baseball thing, I guess. I'm trying to avoid what I know I'm going to have to talk about,
You want to say the Lakers for last?
It's coming up too fast.
You know we're going to talk about it.
It's coming up too fast. As a matter of fact, let's just roll a little something that we did last week so we can go right into that. Is that good to do now, Chris, or you want us to talk?
Lakers last.
You want to do the Lakers last? Okay, the engineer says he wants to do the Lakers last. We talked about, the football, the big trade that just happened.
Yeah. Percy Harvey
Right.
Yeah. Seattle traded
Seattle
to the Jets.
New York Jets.
And that was a all of a sudden type deal there. So something's going on behind the scenes there in Seattle
You're absolutely
to
right.
force him out like that, I would think.
No, you're absolutely right, Smitty. As a matter of fact, last year he had some injuries, and remember in the playoffs,
Right.
He didn't play in all the playoff games, and on top of that, there's definitely some friction there between, of course, Pete Carroll, and otherwise they would never have traded him because he was definitely an integral part of that team. But the same token, previous weeks he hasn't been really in the offense much, and he was definitely complaining. To the powers to be, that hey, he wanted to be more involved in the offense.
Yeah, I saw the game. I think it's not last week's game, but the game before that.
Right.
Receiver and Russell were having some exchange of words right there during the middle of the game there. So it tells you that the receivers are complaining about something or another there.
Yeah. I think the offensive sets that they're running, they've been able to get away with a lot of Russell Wilson ad-libbing, in terms of, running and when plays break down, just take off, his feet. But, eventually that's going to catch up with you.
Yeah.
If you're trying to be a Super Bowl champion, then from there you're going to have to, run a lot of those plays. And he's been very fortunate he hasn't really hit, serious hits on him. But if he continues to run like that, eventually it's going to catch up with him. And the team is, you can tell the team is not as sharp as you thought they would be at this time of the year.
Yeah, we same thing came through the shop where, barbershop that is, where there was some friction with him. And I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll doesn't put up with any of that.
Right.
So
It's like a cancer, and so you have to just cut it out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mess with it. Yes.
Super Bowl champs, and, I guess he knows because that's how he got there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we'll see you later, buddy. Thank you very much for having that run back during the Super Bowl, but we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't know if you're going to be able to play.
Yeah.
Well, the Jets are glad to get him,
Well, I can say that the Jets finally put together a nice game, even though they didn't win.
They did.
Yeah, you saw that move that the referee put on. What do you think about that?
I certainly wasn't in favor of it. I definitely think that it made a difference if the referee would have tossed the flag, which I thought he was going to do. From there, I think it would have been the field goal that he attempted. I think that certainly would have been closer to him making it. I think that might have made a difference in the game. All in all, the Jets definitely put up probably the best performance of the year, even though I know they beat the Raiders the first game of the season.
Yeah.
The Jets might have played the best game of the season.
Yeah.
But bottom line is they still lost.
So this new receiver, is he going to help him or what?
Probably so. We were, how about those Cowboys?
Playing some ball. What can you say?
Okay, you guys know that you guys are the experts in that. And I'm not.
Is that because
but I don't even know if I'm an expert for what we got to go through today.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. said this morning that they're going to wear this guy out.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, he feels like, he keeps running, and as soon as he goes down, the money goes down, the team goes down because it's taking a lot of pressure off of Romo.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I say keep playing the guy, keep working him. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's the second man in the history of the NFL to run 6 consecutive 100-yard games, right behind Jim Brown. So that's impressive.
Very
So working. I mean, they have other running backs that they plan to use. Although the second string running back, I'm gonna use that expression, got in trouble the other day.
Right.
Oh yeah. Stealing some drawers or some turkey or some chicken or something. Well, that was crazy.
But just before the show here, I was looking at the size of the Dallas Cowboy linemen. All of the tackles and guards weigh over 300 pounds. So we're giving DeMarco Murray that credit, but he's getting those open holes because they have a huge offensive line, even though a couple of their key players went down in injuries.
Right.
So that might make a difference. We'll see this week.
So let me get this right. They have built up their team,
Yes.
and from what they've picked, it shows now. It actually shows.
Yes.
Because they were saying in the barbershop, like, these cats were the size you were talking about, 300 pounds, but they're quick.
Yeah.
That's not fat.
That's right.
That's mostly muscle, and they're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm impressed because for a couple of years, going to the barbershop, you had to listen to, they're horrible. They're horrible. Do something different. And then all of a sudden, they're really going at it. What were you getting ready to tell me, Chris?
I was going to give Smitty a round of applause for doing his homework.
Smitty, a round of applause. Okay.
Yeah, how about those
As
Cowboys?
always. So let me see what happened. Let's go over what happened last week. You ready to do that? Let's see what happened last week, and then I'll have to make my adjustments. Back.
Wait, who you got? Cowboys or Seahawks?
Cowboys or
I'm
Seahawks?
going with the Cowboys.
They're not at home. Cowboys are not at home. They're in Seahawks territory?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks.
They don't lose at home, Seattle.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No. And from what I understand, Romo chokes.
Yeah, but he chokes in the big games. We're talking about in the playoffs.
This is
right
big.
now,
This is big enough.
He's balling. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
He is.
yards, passes.
This is
Statistically,
big
he's
enough
been
to
up there
choke
for the
with.
last
Yes,
several years.
That's right.
Who you got?
Actually, I'm going for the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to do it.
Yeah, we got to roll with the Cowboys now. America's team, right?
Been like that for the last.
I can hear them now.
Yeah.
They win. How about those Cowboys?
Yeah.
Now let's go to break. We'll be right back right after our messages from who we got? Pitbull. Okay, I was wrong. The historian was right. Smitty was right, and I was wrong. Okay, and I got a few more things that I was wrong on too. And so we might as well just go ahead and play that, man. Just go ahead and play it,
This is what it'll be at the end of the month. Like, are you allowing for any excuses of figuring out who they're playing with, or you're already to the point where they should know what they're doing better?
No, I think they should have a pretty good idea of what we're doing on that end of the floor. And obviously, by the end of the month, I expect them to know exactly what we're doing. So have a little bit of a leeway. Right now it's only, a week, 9 days, something like that we've been going at it.
Yeah. Now you see that? Already he has the solution.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about with Byron Scott. He's already figured out what it is they need to do to be able to beat them. So that's why I said they're going to win on Sunday, hands down. He's made the adjustments already. He's in the press conference making the adjustments. Hey, what do you say about that?
Do you think the players are going to rise? Go ahead.
Yeah, let's see what you got to say. Because you over there dogging me saying, nah. It's not going to happen like that.
You have to keep it real here, bro. Number one, I don't think it's going to happen like that. Number two, I look at Byron Scott's track record. I know he took the New Jersey Nets to back-to-back championship runs. I understand that. But after that, I know he was a coach of the year in New Orleans, but he certainly wore out his welcome there. Now remember now, before Mike Brown, I think was a coach by the name of Byron Scott, who coached the Cavaliers there, and he lost something like 20-something games. Now, let's fast forward with that to the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm looking at the team that he has right now. I'm looking at the so-called adjustments he's making. But last I checked, I think Golden State scored 120 points. And on top of that, a lot of those shots they made with hands in their face. Now, if Golden State really wanted to put it down on the Lakers, I think they would have popped that. I mean, they could have probably scored 140 on the so-called new and improved.
Yeah, Byron's got to have to play it, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I thought he had the plan. I was wrong. let me publicly say that I made a boo-boo here because, for one, and I can see how I did because, for one, it's too early in the season.
Yeah.
The fatigue did not set in. They're just coming off a training camp. They're in shape. As a matter of fact, they lost by 20, then they lost by 40.
Yeah.
So they do have a few people out, but I'm really puzzled now as to what they're going to be able to do. They just lost again to Utah by 30 last night.
Yes.
So, and I only saw a part of one game, and I haven't seen the other two games. I didn't want to see them, to tell you the truth, because I didn't feel like they were going to be able to make any type of adjustments, especially with personnel that they need in there, out of there. It's just like you guys said. I don't think it's going to happen the way you're talking about. I was really adamant about that. I really believed that even with the personnel that they had,
Yeah.
they could do something.
Yes.
But, they don't have the scores that they need, obviously.
Well, 6 of their key players, players that they're counting on to help the team, are on the injured list. What's his name?
Right, that's part of course, Swaggy P.
Yeah, that's the number
That's
one.
good for 25.
Yeah. And what's Kelly, the white boy?
Yeah, Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other kid's name? They take it to the hole. Jeremy Lin. Well, Jeremy Lin, yeah, he's one. And then the other
Good for
kid
15.
that played last year, he would take it to the hole real strong, dunk. He could shoot.
Oh, his name was on the tip of my tongue, too.
No.
He's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I can't think of his name
I
right
know who
now.
you're talking about,
Yeah.
though, of course.
You know what bugs me the most? Years ago when I came out here, I wanted to play pro ball. But after I saw how strong they were and the political aspect of it,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm not going in correctly, so it's probably not going to work. But if you get a chance to get on a pro bench,
That's an accomplishment.
well, not only is it an accomplishment and you knew the right people, but I'm trying my best to do what I can to, first of all, stay there and help the team. I'm trying to make myself valuable to the team.
Right.
And I just don't understand why someone else in the mix on the team has risen up. I don't get it.
Well, I'll say this. Excuse me there. You had a lot to say about Byron, and I think it warrants what you were talking about, because watching Byron right now, I do have some concerns, not in a negative way, but I think just as he's filling out the players, we as critics, fans, we're filling out Byron Scott too. For example, he's kind of hard on the rookie right now, Randall. Yeah. He set him on the bench the last half of the game they played against Utah, and he's publicly saying that he's slow, he's not catching on fast enough. And he recognized the kid's only 19 years old, but also I'm wondering about Nash. Why in the world would they pick a 40-year-old point guard, even though they had the contract and all this money, and say he's going to be the starter of the Los Angeles Lakers in this day and age? Fortunately, he injured himself. So, and Price got a chance to play, and they look a little better, on the offense. So, but again, Byron has this thing about not shooting threes. That's the point that I was trying to get to. And they had a poll out this morning, and the fans say 78% of them would prefer to see more three-point shots.
Not
taken.
like D'Antoni.
No.
Not like the D'Antoni.
Yeah.
But certainly more than what the short. I mean, he's focusing so much on defense. Defense. I mean, defense is definitely important.
Yes.
We understand that, but like you said, Smitty, I mean, it's almost like he's acting like he's not even taking advantage of the 3-point line. I mean, definitely most teams out there utilize that as an integral part of their offense, and Byron Scott is acting like he doesn't even want to deal with it.
Yeah. Now, Sonny, you play ball. What does it do to a player's head when the coach takes away a weapon? And I'm saying that the players all know that they're not supposed to shoot 3-point shots. What does that do to their psyche?
Right now, what's going through my head is, have I picked the wrong coach to really like.
Okay.
No, really.
Wait a minute,
because
wait a minute.
hold on. Let me explain
He just
myself.
got there.
No,
Yes, sir.
with his success, I figured that he would be very good at what he's doing here. But to hear him say something about not being able to shoot the 3-pointers, and that's all he could do.
Oh, you got a point there, huh? He knows the value of a 3-point shot.
Yeah, they relied on him for
Yeah.
a lot of those shots
Yeah.
when nothing could come inside.
Right.
So I don't understand his philosophy right now. He wants to try and mold and shape the team, and I guess he wants scoring interior
Yes,
first,
inside out.
and then
Yeah.
because you aren't supposed to go inside out.
Yes.
So that's the only thing I can think of that is fundamental
Yeah.
in his thought pattern.
Yeah.
But the game now. I coach at Lawndale.
Yeah.
I tell those guards, if it's open, shoot the ball.
Yes.
You have to shoot the ball to keep the defense honest.
Yes. Yes.
Now, if you come in there and you don't shoot the ball, then they just pack it in.
Right.
And you can't make any passes in there.
Right.
Even if the floor is spread, that outside shot now is pertinent to the game.
Yeah.
It's a threat.
Yes.
You have to be a threat out there. And if you're not a threat, don't worry, they won't shoot it. And if they do shoot it, they're not going to make it because they don't regularly shoot it.
Now, obviously, Golden State has the green light to shoot threes.
Right.
And you see the proficiency that comes along with it. So that's
what
my
is he
point.
going to do? This is what,
Is
this
he
is a
taking
problem.
away the proficiency?
This is a problem.
Yeah.
Because when Shaggy P comes back, he going to tell him not to shoot. This is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I talked all that
Good
mess
point.
last week, and now here we come back here to analyze this.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Yeah. And maybe he'll let off once the season starts, but maybe he's just trying to put a discipline in right now.
Right now, I am
Yeah.
not feeling him.
Well,
I am not feeling it.
Yeah.
He'd have made me look stupid on the show. I got the experts down here. I'm glad y'all ain't clown me too bad, but you know what? Let's go to break. Pitbull, our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pitbull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
What's your style? Curly? Straight? Wavy? Or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Okay, we're back. Just Sports, Sonny Wells, Smitty, and Pierre. We're here. We got a clip that we want to run here. But first, Pierre, your thoughts?
Yes. I'm going to say a couple of things, fellas. Hopefully you guys don't run me out of the studio here. I just want to keep it honest and keep it real. What I would do, I would fire Byron Scott and I would trade Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
Right there.
Listen to this general manager.
Right there. Fire Byron Scott, trade Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is probably untradeable because of his contract.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting that.
Right. And if you could do that.
Hey, Smitty, duck the lightning.
Did you say you were a Laker fan or what?
Actually, I'm not a Laker fan, but the same token, I try to be just an honest observer of the game and all the teams. And, that's what I would do first. I know you just hired Byron Scott, but he's certainly the wrong man for the job. I think I said that last week. I'll certainly reiterate that. For a lot of different reasons. You don't even have enough time for me to go into all of it right now. but that's for Byron Scott.
You pulling the Mike Brown situation on my
Wow.
Second of all, obviously, look how long it took for the Lakers to actually turn over the reins to Byron Scott. He was definitely fourth or fifth choice minimum. I mean, they interviewed him like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's like, look how long it took for them to actually give him the job. If they really thought he was the right man for the job initially, they would have gave it to him right after D'Antoni. Remember, D'Antoni actually resigned. The Lakers didn't fire him. He was actually resigned. He wanted an extension on his contract, and the Lakers wouldn't give him an extension. The Lakers were okay with him coaching this year. But he decided that if he didn't get the extension, the security he was looking for, he decided to leave. So he left on his own. It wasn't like the Lakers initially fired him. Okay, and then so far as Kobe Bryant, yeah, I think his days are numbered. It's time to be. He plays no defense. I mean, he takes a lot of bad shots, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen when the Lakers have an extended losing streak.
But wait a minute now. We're 3 games into the season.
Ended losing.
3 games into the preseason. He's coming back from an injury, and we got to give him a little more time. But
Okay.
I appreciate your point.
Yes, sir.
General Manager. Fire Kobe. Get him a trade. Get him out of there.
Well, the basketball
Fire Byron
guys.
Scott and trade Kobe
Yeah.
if you can, but he's untradeable because of that contract.
The basketball guys gonna come get you tonight, man. But let's take a look at a clip that we had and see what Mr. Scott's talking about. Kobe. Okay, let's do the Kobe interview.
Yeah. Kobe on the outside again. Just a horrible shooting night. His last game, 3 for 13. Arises and fires.
I'm going to show Kobe using that screen from Jordan Hill. The big, late stepping out. Doesn't want to get beat off the dribble, so he gives Kobe that fluid, in-rhythm jump shot, and the rest is history.
Explosion and the acceleration that he used to have. We've seen a lot of this in the key. Oh, it's a good fake by Bryant. If it goes, and Kobe.
And to see if he can complete the three-point play. Too tempting to stay down. Hood goes up, comes down. We've got a foul. Offensive rebound and put back.
Bryant got it. Kobe looking with 5.5 to go here in the first half of exhibition game number 4. Bryant knocks it down to beat. Back at the former Butler University star goes around him. Good pass. Great pass, and Boozer finishes. Lakers, on the other hand, average 103, just out of the top 10. Boozer's got 2 in a row. One inside, one outside. Kobe's got the rebound. Settles into his hand. Well, no look under the Boozer. Count it, foul. Kobe, yes.
Recognizing that Boozer has great position. Just throw it into him. The foul and one. This will be Boozer's first free throw attempt of the night. And that's something that...
We're on 2.
Bad pass.
By Ronnie Price, but it goes to Kobe, who cleans it up and scores. That's the second team foul on the Lakers here in quarter number 3.
Ronnie Price got away with one there. The pass he tried off.
15 minutes, 11 points. By far his best showing in the early preseason for the Utah Jazz. Kobe, turnaround jump shot. Boy, we've seen a lot.
Yeah, we're back. Just Sports here. Watching a few clips. I said interview, but it was actually a clip. Man, Kobe had 27 in this, right? And that's too much.
When you say too much, what do you mean?
We understand how Kobe plays. He's coming back. He does have to get his game legs under him. But where is the rest of the team?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm coaching the team, and I do some coaching now, I'm not trying to take my star player who is an elderly person and wear him out. I'm not trying to wear him out. Yeah, I know he gets paid big bucks, but I'm just not trying to do that. In the preseason,
down by 40 points?
Yeah, what are you doing? Let's just sit down and chill.
Right.
You know? I have to question Byron Scott's motives at this point. I don't know about firing him, but I sure, it's like baseball. I have to go out and talk to him. Hey, look, man, what are you really doing here? What are your actual thoughts about what's going on? Your modus operandi. What's going on? I don't get it. So, and the other thing, don't shoot no threes.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about before the break.
Yeah.
That makes no sense, especially from someone who always shot the threes.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You know, he would either take it inside, jump up and dunk it on you.
Yeah.
Or he would light you up out there.
Right.
And that was his role.
Right.
So why hasn't he devised more roles for other people? You know, in a short period of time, when you're a basketball player, if you don't have a shot, or if your shot is off, you can spend a week, 2 weeks, 200 or 300 jumpers, sets of 25, and you'll become proficient.
Well, this is my problem I have with pro players, period. They make all this money, they have the whole summer off, and then they come back and they're clinging their shots. I don't understand it. You know, when you think about a Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those men worked in the offseason perfecting their shots. And when they came back, you saw the improvement. But then you watch Wesley Johnson come back, and he can't make a three-point shot consistently. You know, when he knows that the team is going to need that shot. I don't understand these professional players.
Yeah, they're not consummate professionals as we know them, like I'm sure you do from past times. In the summer league years ago, it used to be at Loyola Marymount. You could come out and see Magic play.
Yeah.
Mark Aguirre, the other little guy, the little guard who was out there limping and played.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. These guys are playing in the summer league, and they're the top guys in the NBA working on their game.
Exactly.
You know, these guys just don't do that now. And if they do, it's very limited. You know, I don't think their diets are the greatest. And why are they getting injured so much? I know the level is high.
Yeah.
And you have to have a lot of strength. But when you go through, and those guys that are training them, they're very good.
Yeah.
Right.
You do the work, you're going to get strong.
Right.
You know? Smitty and I were talking earlier, and we talked about the boy from Inglewood.
Yeah.
And he went out and got
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. We went out and got him a nutritionist, a strength and conditioning person, a chef, and he's still playing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when they knifed him up at the club in Boston, you remember that?
Yeah.
He survived because he was in great physical condition. You know?
Right.
But, hey, final thoughts, Smitty?
I'll pass it on to Pierre.
Yeah, go ahead, Pierre.
Yes, I just think that the Lakers are in for a very long season. It's going to be a season of major turmoil. I don't see Kobe Bryant, and you call me crazy about thinking the Lakers really need to trade him, but when Kobe gets frustrated, I mean, it's really going to make the matters much worse. Remember, it was a few years ago, a little bit more than a few years ago, when he was to that point before, he said he'd rather play on the planet Pluto than to play for the Lakers.
Planted Pluto.
Than play for the Lakers. You know, he was calling everyone out, including the owner at the time, who was Dr. Buss. You know, so when he gets to that point, he's going to start ball hogging as usual, and the Lakers not going to go anywhere. And next thing you know, they're going to have to rebuild a couple of years anyway. And that's why I say they need to start the process sooner than later. Byron Scott's the wrong man for the job, and he's going the other direction with that as well.
Yeah, I think we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm baffled right now. I thought I knew. I had the faith, you know, because faith without works is dead. But I had the faith. They just didn't do the work.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. You know, see what the teamwork's like. You know, teamwork makes the dream work.
All right, sounds good to me.
Okay, Just Sports. Big ups to Mr. Johnny Morris, Crystal Davis Wells, Executive Director, and Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. Thanks, fellas. We'll see you next week.
Out of here.
Do you need fabrics? We have all sorts. Supreme Wax, Kente, Jewel, Obama, Osikani, and many more. Wholesale and retail available. Contact Gold Coast International Imports. In the Inland Empire, call 310-925-2948. In Los Angeles, call 213-344-8594. Looking forward to doing business with you.
And good evening. Welcome. Oh, yeah, I like that. That sounds great. RMCOnline.com. Sonny Wells, Just Sports. This is the first of many. It's the 4th of July, you guys. And look, we just aren't ready to do everything the way we want to. But in studio today, we've got Cordell Sr.
Yeah, Black LaLanne.
Black LaLanne, yeah. Then we've got Mr. DeJuan Scott.
Yes, sir.
Came out with Magic as a rookie.
Oh, yeah.
And, man, when's the last time we saw each other?
We both took Jersey. We both wound up in LA. And while I taught school here, your son, one of my favorite kids.
That's right, View Park.
View Park. A jewel of the inner city. 5 years, we graduated 100% of our kids. Sent 100% of them to colleges and universities when I was there. View Park. Gold Knights.
Yeah, you know what? We're just going to go some old school basketball today. We've got DeJuan Scott in studio along with his partner here, DeJuan Scott, the nutritional specialist. So we're going to start off with that, go back and forth a little bit. And what have you been doing since, well, you know what? I don't know, like we were talking earlier, I don't know your story. I know you from back at the Joe Weekly Run, Shoot, and Dunk, but I don't know your story. Tell us a little bit about what your story is about.
Well, you know, for me, the genesis began for me at Crenshaw High School. Willie West was like a father figure to so many. I was one of those that he basically put his arms around and taught the facts of life. I was blessed to go there when Crenshaw was just unstoppable. I mean, it was the jewel of the city. And when I met you was during the Summer Pro Leagues. It was the Rucker in New York City, and then it was the Joe Weekly Run, Shoot, and Dunk basketball league here in Los Angeles.
To the money hole!
Everybody played there, from Will Chamberlain, Magic Johnson. I think one time, if they would have brought Kareem, they would have had the Lakers starting 5.
Right.
At one point, you had to be like on the cover of Sports Illustrated to even get on the team, and I was playing with Hall's Furniture.
Yeah, one of the tough ones.
You know, so we won our little string of championships here and there. I went to Seton Hall University. I went to Cuesta Junior College in San Luis Obispo. I wound up going to play in France and made so much noise that Chick Hearn, a lot of people don't know, was assistant general manager of the Lakers at the time. So Chick invited me to the rookie camp, and after 3 days, the next thing I know, I'm at the Fabulous Forum in front of Bill Sharman and Jerry West, and I'm signing a 2-year contract, and they're telling me, DeJuan, you're going to be a Laker for life. Buy a house. And then they bring in Magic, and I'm like, oh, this is looking like a championship deal here. And for whatever reason, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar liked me. So he did not destroy me in camp. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So he'd give me advice. He'd say, you know, young boy, if you want to make it in this league, and we're talking about a guy that played 20 years, right? All-time leading scorer in NBA history. You got to learn to sleep when you travel. You know, it's the guys that can't sleep on buses and trains. And I knew so many guys that were like, say, in a car accident when they were young, they could never sleep. So we're on a flight. You look over, the guy's wide awake. You go back to sleep, you get there and you got to play, time change, food change, you know, even the milk is different.
Wow, I learned that when I was with the Globetrotters traveling, going over to Europe, the time changes there, and, you know, you don't know what time it is, you don't know where you are. Each night you're at a different place because you're traveling, you're on the bus, and then if you got to get a plane, you got to get a little small plane. And, you know, the few times that you have when you're maybe have a day and a half or maybe 2 days. You got to go to the gym and you exercise. You got to wash your clothes. You got to do all kind of stuff. It's a certain type of way to travel. That's why I only did it for a couple of years. I couldn't do that stuff, man.
If you factor in that,
well, you know,
it's the rest and recovery aspect.
There it is.
We were talking about it earlier.
Right.
And he was telling me about. I mean, you know, he gives. You know, when I started talking to Cordell, he starts putting names to things that, like, what is it, concussive trauma that your body has when you're playing sports?
Yeah, concussive sports, as opposed to doing things like yoga, which I do a lot of.
You know, Kareem started doing a lot of yoga.
Yeah, Kareem was the first pro athlete that I heard of that they wrote articles about back in the day, back when he was vital, and he was practicing yoga.
Do you teach that? With your training and so forth. And all that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Two methods: power yoga and the Bikram style yoga, and I do it in the heat also.
Power yoga. That sounds interesting. What is power yoga?
Power yoga is a 90-minute session where you actually just get into poses, and each pose has an effect, and each pose has an effect on all of the 11 systems that operate our body.
Now, would you suggest that for most professional athletes today, whether in whatever sport?
Absolutely. It'll help you in whatever sport. LeBron James does a lot of yoga.
Oh, that's why that boy like that, huh? Oh, okay. Now we're getting to the really meat and potatoes here.
Yeah, keeps the body and the joints, what we can just call open.
He plays bully ball. What do you think, DeWan?
Yeah, man, he's a beast, man. And I haven't seen anything like him. So, I mean, the first time I saw Irv coming down the middle, that was, gang way.
Yeah.
And LeBron is just a whole nother animal.
You remember that dunk that he did on Michael Cooper?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
All right, let's get back to you because you're the focus today. Go ahead. Give us a little bit more about what you did during your career, and you got a few things happening afterwards too, don't you?
Yeah, one of the things is I was able to make the transition from sports into basketball. I started out with Budweiser commercials. The first, bring out your best Budweiser lights.
Okay.
So that ran for like 3 years when commercials ran for 3 years, and that segued into television series. And then I didn't know growing up I would play a Bigfoot. But I've played more Bigfoot characters than anybody else in the history of Hollywood. Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, Sony Pictures, you name it, I'm the Bigfoot guy.
Yeah, you showed me that picture. I didn't believe that was you.
Well, one of them had a guy named Kevin Peter Hall, starred as Harry and the Hendersons, and I was the stunt in the film, Stunt Harry, but we helped bring Harry to life.
Okay.
And then when Kevin passed on, there was a television series for like 76 episodes, and so I took over the starring role as a television series, and it was bananas. I'd come to work, Michael Jackson would be there, wanting to meet me, and we'd do practical jokes on celebrities while I'm wearing $1 million Academy Award winning suit, so it was a whirlwind, so we did stuff like that. But it turned into, when Mike died, I was on a field trip taking some View Park kids to a special effects studio so that they could, see what they might want to do in life and look at the Academy Awards. And when the news came down, one of the special effects guys said, you need to follow through on what Michael Jackson told you to do, is create your own Bigfoot, have your own, So I created a character named Big Feets, but it's F-E-A-T-S.
Okay.
And he is the only mascot for the environment. In the world that loves mascots, the earth itself doesn't have one.
You didn't tell me that earlier.
Yeah.
I did ask you a question earlier when we were kind of going over all of this. The question was, what would you have done differently? Because, you were in the league for a brief moment and you were out. What do you think you could have done that would have made you're successful, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what do you think you could have done to maybe change things up? I think you mentioned a couple of things about...
Well, I tell you.
A lot more stretching.
You know what? And my advice to young guys that are gifted today is that everybody, when you first fall in love, Bill Russell said it better than anybody. It was an interview that he did with Jane Kennedy back on Wide World of Sports, and
that was a nice interview too.
And he says basketball is like a woman I love, but she only likes younger guys. And so
that's a good one.
When so what I took away from that is when you first start to fall in love with the game of basketball, you love to do the things you love to do, but you don't work at the things you need to work at for an all-around game. And if you look at guys that have success, look at Michael Jordan. He'll post you up. He'll take you down low. LeBron turned into a post-up guy also. You learn to do things, and when you're blessed with height, you just get lazy. You just want to dunk on people and block shots, but there's a lot of footwork that needs to go into it, and until you get on that level when they start to dissect every aspect of your game is when you run into trouble. So my biggest regrets was not putting in all the work that was necessary for me to be a rounded ball player. Another thing for me is I got recruited by UCLA. Gene Bartow brought me in, and my advice is to stay close to home. And I walked into his office, and that phone started to ring, and I was like, Coach, you're not going to answer the phone? And he's, quite frankly, DeJuan, we're under a lot of pressure here at UCLA. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't commit because I didn't know if he was going to be able to commit. So I wound up going to Seton Hall, But that's
who's the coach there?
Bill Raftery. Right. The kiss off the glass. Wild Bill, love you. So he was a guy, and but from basketball, I learned a lot of social skills, learned how to interact with people. I learned the team concept translates into business, if that's what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, it's a good nurturing spot for you.
Now, you have a couple other things going on now that you wanted to give a little shout out to.
I have a little clip I'd like for you to play. It's called Big Feats.
Spell that.
For the endangered. It's FEATS. And I'll set it up for you. Big Feats is not only mascot for the earth, but he's mascot for the environment. But he has a superpower, and his superpower is he's the only creature on earth that has the ability to speak on behalf of endangered species. So it provides new bridges of communications for us to hear what the bees have to say. They work so hard to keep us alive, and yet in many countries we just, they're on the verge of extinction, if not wiped out completely. So if we can hear from these things, then we can learn how to help with them.
Let's roll that piece.
Hi, my name is Felicia Morris, aka The Poetess, and welcome to Morris Media Studios. We are a podcast and voiceover studio located in the heart of the historic Leimert Park, Crenshaw area of Los Angeles. Our creative space offers aspiring podcasters and professional voice actors a fully equipped studio. We are happy to give voice to our community by offering a platform to distribute helpful information that informs, inspires, and educates by way of podcasting or recording audiobooks for its readers. To learn more about Morris Media Studios, follow us at Morris Media Studios or visit our website at morrismediastudios.com.
Out on the coin, they wonder why.
Right. Definitely nutritionally connected. I think directly. There's a direct line there. So
let's talk about also. Now, of course.
Well, before you change the subject,
sure.
There's something I work with some pretty gifted, brilliant people. I just have to say, and one of them has invented a thread. It's called thermocratic thread. Thermocratic.
Cratic, not crack it.
No,
credit.
thermocratic. Okay. Thermocratic is one way to pronounce it. There's another one. I think it's so new that I'm still trying to get a handle on it. But this is what it does. It changes colors when it gets wet with perspiration, and according to your heart rate, the threads change colors to correspond with your heart rate. So when the redder it gets, the coaching staff can see if a player's out there in football field or running track, and they can't really gauge if he's on a danger zone. You can see by his clothes or the logo that he's wearing. And if you're jogging by yourself and you're pushing yourself too hard, sometimes we have a tendency to do that. Nike for years was just do it, but with this new ability for textile products, it's when to stop doing it.
Okay.
And so it's seeking venture capital now. I mean, he's putting together a package. He just put together a video and sent it to me last week. I've been sharing it with people. I mean, the prospects are just, phenomenal. To just really revolutionize any type of, and then he brought up using it as swimwear too. Just because when the water gets wet, you got your swimsuit so you can look good, and then depending upon the colors of the water, so it has a wide range of uses, but it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, RMConline.com.
There you go.
We heard it right here first. Now I've forgotten the question I was going to ask you. What were you talking about?
Well, we were talking about, children falling out, and it's nutritionally related. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you have to have proper minerals, vitamins and minerals, not just sugar.
Yeah, and that's
and sugar is a carbohydrate. It's a quick fuel.
Yeah, and they get it and they'll run out of it, and then they all of a sudden they're lethargic and they can't think, they can't remember to set the pick, they can't remember where to go, and for a long time I was like, this generation of ball players, are they stupid? Are they stuck on stupid? What's wrong? So I have to think it's nutritional because they get out there and they run, they get tired, and whatever was in their tank is out of the tank. So at that point, they just can't think.
Yeah.
So and it's widespread. Not only the team I'm involved with, but I see other teams and other athletes doing the same thing.
It's fundamental. Fundamentally, they probably are not getting enough fruits and vegetables across the board.
There it is.
Because fruits and vegetables will fix and balance out all those systems that we were talking about earlier, the 11 systems that make up the body.
Garden of Eden.
If you put the proper fuel in there, all those systems function properly, including burning of calories.
You know what? I don't know the information, but I'll probably have it next week, real quick, and then we're going to go to a DVD. San Antonio Spurs, all the old guys, vintage players. We have a situation where the coach basically emptied the bench and did not put a lot of pressure on his vintage players. I have to believe that they have a great nutritionist there as well.
They absolutely do, yeah.
You know of him or?
I don't know who that is, but yeah, they do have a great nutritional program. Also, there's a couple of colleges.
Because, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the big fella cramped up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that had
Spurs didn't cramp up.
Yeah, well that had to do more with hydration. He was he's nutritionally sound. He's a top notch guy.
He missed the water. He didn't get to the water.
But you know what? You remember the gym too. The air conditioning went out, and when you're not used to training a certain way, that's what
he has a lot of muscle fiber.
Yeah,
and
a whole lot
and he cramped up. It was a muscular thing.
I was told that's like salt. You need more salt in your body?
Yeah, minerals, salt. Sodium being one of them, yeah.
Anyway, thank you. You know what, guys? Man, I'm so glad you guys came in.
We just came by.
We're going to have you back. Next week, I probably think we'll have a little news on the current things, something we weren't able to do this time. But you guys saved the day. Appreciate you coming by, Dewan. Know each other forever, Pleasure to get you in here too.
Thank you.
And we want to get you back too because of some of these other sports. I got a guy coming in next week who's a diehard soccer dude. He's just I met him. I've been knowing him for a while, but we talked today, and he just knows everything about soccer, And we're going to talk about some of the nutrition that those guys really need. Because that's a lot
of running.
That's a lot of running.
That's my impression when I look at it.
It's like, I'm not running all that, chase that little ball, and I can't put my hands on it. I'm not running that far. I'm not a soccer guy. But guys, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
I got 3 little shout outs I want to do.
Oh.
One to Coach Willie West. For all those that know Coach West, Crenshaw High School, he had heart surgery about 3 weeks ago, and he's recovering well. Much love to our father, Coach West. Also, we got to get the Willie West story done. That's just something else. Byron Scott, we love you. Lake Show, let's go. B. Scott. Also, Ryan Hollins, the Clippers, played golf with his dad today, and we tied. And on that note, I'm out.
Okay, we'll be right back after we play a few bills here. Remember, we're brought to you by Pit Bull. We'll be right back.
Friend on kicking ass and taking names, brother.
We're gonna kick ass, we're gonna win it. I got a treat for everybody, because we're gonna have some fucking fun and win.
369, damn, get your second to me one more time and roll. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window, to the wall. Let the sweat drop down my ball.
Oh man, I wonder if I'm supposed to have my old hag wig on or something. What?
I'm on the ground, he hits me. I come up and try to swing through. You want to eject me?
And now we gotta come back to it because they're gonna foul.
So.
RMCOnline.com. You're watching the Nike Battlegrounds League.